We ask you to please remain on mute, and the results will be posted on the bonfire procurement portal and emailed to all plan holders at the conclusion of this bid opening. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see the bonfire submissions. Okay, so as you can see, we have bonfire pulled up here. We're going to go ahead and open up the sub bids one at a time. So the first one we're going to go to, see here, is FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse Renovations sub bid acoustic tile. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the submissions. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is unseal all the documents, and you will see them date and time stamped as we unseal them. Okay, now we're going to go over to the submissions. And we have Bright Light Electrical Company Incorporated. That was received November 7th, 2024 at 10:25 a.m. We have Cheviot Corporation received November 6th, 2024 at 1:43 p.m. We have JSP Plumbing and Heating received November 7th, 2024 at 11:14 a.m. We have K&K Acoustical Ceilings Incorporated received November 7th, 2024 at 11:42 a.m. And we have New England Finish System received November 7th at 8:09 a.m. So we're going to go ahead and start with the first one, which is Bright Light Electrical. We're going to go ahead and open up the form for sub bid. Okay. 1 second. Okay, so we have Bright Light Electrical Company Incorporated bidding for the contract sum of $194,358. $194,358. They have acknowledged all the addendums 1, 2, and 3. This sub bid may be used by any general bidder except Northern Contracting, GVW, the Grace Thornton Company, and GTC Construction Management. All right, and everything there is signed. Going to go to the next document. And so that's the combined certificate. All right, and that is signed and included. We'll go to the bid bond. All right, and that's signed and included. And then we'll go to the DCAM certification. Okay, and that will be under review. It looks like the combined certificate form is under DCAM certification, but we will review after the call for that document. Okay, so our next bidder is Cheviot Corporation. I'm going to go to the form for subbid. Okay, and we have the Cheviot Corporation acoustic tile, $37,597, $37,597. Scrolling down, they have acknowledged addendums 1, 2, and 3. And everything is signed. And combined certificate. All right, that is signed and included. And we'll go to the bid bond. And the bid bond is signed and included. DCAM certificate. And that is signed and included for acoustic tile. Next bid we have is JSP Plumbing and Heating. I'm going to go to a form for subbid. JSP Plumbing and Heating Corporation, $155,000, $155,000. Scroll down. I do not see the addendum mentioned. That will be under review. And I do not see it signed, but that will be under review. And we'll go to the combined certificate. That's signed and included. To the bid bond. And that is included. And then we'll go to the DCAM certificate. And there is a DCAM certificate. Everything is under review. All right, now our next bid is K&K Acoustical Ceilings. Go to the bid form. We have K&K Acoustical Ceilings Incorporated for acoustic tile, $20,800. Acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. Go to the certificate of compliance. Okay, that is signed and included. And now to the bid bond. Okay, that is included. And then we go to the DCAM certificate. For acoustical tile, that is included. Okay, now our last bidder for sub bid acoustical tile, New England Finish System. We'll go to the form of sub bid. We have New England Finish Systems, $21,850. Acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed and included. Go to the certificate of compliance. Signed and included. Bid bond. Is included. And lastly, the DCAM certificate. For acoustic tile, and that is included. Okay, all bids are under review for the FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovation sub-bid acoustical tile. Now we will move on to our next sub-bid for this project. Next sub-bid is electrical. So this is the FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovations sub-bid electrical. We'll go over to the requested information. We'll go ahead and unseal all the documents. And everything will be date and time stamped as we go. Okay, everything's unsealed, so let's go over to the submissions. And we have American Electrical Construction Incorporated, that was received November 7th, 2024 at 11:30 a.m. We have Integrated Electrical Systems Incorporated, received November 6th, 2024 at 7:34 p.m. We have MV Electrical Contractors Incorporated, received November 7th, 10:44 a.m. And we have Systems Contracting Inc., received November 7th, 2024 at 10:29 a.m. So we'll start with the first one, American Electrical Construction. Open up the sub-bid form. Okay, we have American Electrical Construction Incorporated, $663,000. That's $663,000. Acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. This subbid may be used by any general bidder except CTA Construction Company Incorporated, BC Construction Company Incorporated, Northern Contract Incorporated, and Rubicon Builders LLC. Scrolling down, everything is signed and included. Going to the certificate of compliance. Okay, that will be under review. Now to the bid bond. That is included. To the DCAM certificate. For electrical, and that is included. Moving on to the next one, Integrated Electrical Systems Incorporated. We'll pull up the sub bid. And we have Integrated Electrical Systems Incorporated, bidding $249,000, $249,000, acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. This sub bid may be used by any general bidder except Whiting Turner. Scrolling down, everything is signed. We have the combined certificate of compliance, signed and included. Now pulling up the bid bond. And we have a bid bond signed and included. Okay, scrolling down to the DCAM certificate. And there we have a DCAM certificate for electrical included. Moving on to our next sub bidder for electrical, MV Electrical Contractors Incorporated. Pulling up the form of sub bid. And we have MV Electrical Contractors Incorporated, $214,610, $214,610, acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. Moving on to the next document. Opening up the combined certificate. Signed and included. Opening up the bid bond. And that is signed and included. Scrolling down to the DCAM certification. for electrical, and that is signed and included. Okay, and moving on to our last submission for sub-bid electrical, which is Systems Contracting Incorporated. Opening up the form of sub-bid. Okay, this is Systems Contracting Incorporated for electrical, $215,000, acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. And that is signed. Like that. And we have the combined certificate of compliance, and that is signed and included. Opening up the bid bond, that is signed and included. And now the DCAM certificate for electrical, and that is signed and included. Okay, that concludes our bid opening for sub-bid electrical. All bids are under review, and now we'll move to our next sub-bid, which is the elevator. And this is the FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse Renovation sub-bid elevator. And we're going to go over to requested information. Unseal all the documents. Okay, everything's unsealed. We'll go over to our submissions. Okay, and we have one submission, and it's Delta Beckwith Elevator Company, received November 6, 2024 at 12:05 p.m. We are going to go ahead and look at the form for sub-bid. Okay, Delta Beckwith Elevator Company, and it is for $90,000. All addenda are acknowledged, 1, 2, and 3. This is signed. Going to the certificate of compliance. Okay, that is signed and included. Opening up the bid bond. Okay, and the bid bond is signed and included. And now the DCAM certificate. Okay, we have the DCAM certificate for elevators that's signed and included. That concludes our bid opening for sub-bid elevator. All bids, including that one bid, are under review. And now we will go to our next category, which is fire protection. Okay. This is FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovation, sub-bid fire protection. We're gonna go ahead and unseal all the documents. Okay, now we'll go over to our submissions. And we received 2 submissions for sub-bid fire protection. We have Carlisle Engineering received November 6, 2024 at 10:49 a.m. And we have Yankee Sprinkler Company received November 7th, 2024 at 9:58 a.m. So we'll start with Carlisle Engineering. We'll go to the form for sub-bid. Okay, it's a sub-bid for fire protection, Carlisle Engineering Incorporated, $412,700, $412,700. Acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. Going to the compliance certificate. And that is signed and included. Going to the bid bond. And that is signed and included. And then we're going to go to the DCAM certificate. And we have a DCAM certificate for fire protection sprinkler system, and that is signed and included. Okay, our next bid is Yankee Sprinkler Company. We're going to go ahead and open that one, form of sub bid. Okay, we have $322,000, $322,000. This sub bid includes addenda numbered 1, 2, and 3. Scrolling down, everything is signed. Moving on to the combined certificate of compliance. Signed and included. Moving on to the bid bond. And that is signed and included. And the DCAM certificate. Okay, DCAM certificate, signed and included. And that concludes our bid opening for FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovations, sub-bid fire protection. All bids are under review. And now we will go to our next sub-bid category, which is HVAC. Okay, first thing we're going to do is unseal all the documents. Okay, now let's go over to our submissions. Okay, this is the FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovation sub-bid HVAC, and we received 4 bids. Apex Corp received November 7th, 2024 at 11:53 a.m. ARAUJO Brothers Plumbing and Heating Incorporated received November 7th, 2024 at 11:37 a.m. Division 15 HVAC Inc. received November 7th, 2024 at 11:43 a.m. And Performance Plumbing received November 7th, 2024 at 11:59 a.m. Let's start with the first one, Apex Corp. And we have Apex Corporation. It looks like $377,500, $377,500. Addendum 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. Everything is signed. We have the certificate of compliance. Okay, that's signed and included. Going down to the bid bond. And that is signed and included. And the DCAM certificate. Okay, DCAM certificate for HVAC, that is included. Okay, opening up our next bid for ARAUJO Brothers Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. And we have a bid of $446,950. So $446,950. Scrolling down, addendums 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. Everything is signed. Moving on to the certificate of compliance. Okay, signed and included. Moving on to the bid bond. Bid bond is signed and included. And the DCAM certificate. DCAM certificate for HVAC, that is included and signed. Opening up our next bid, Division 15 HVAC Incorporated. Okay, $370,000, $370,000. Scrolling down, addendums 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. Everything is signed. Compliance certificate is signed and included. Bid bond is signed and included. And the DCAM certificate for HVAC is included. Okay, next up we have form of sub-bid for performance plumbing. This is performance plumbing and heating for $474,288, $474,288. Addendums 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. Everything is signed. Compliance certificate is signed and included. Okay, the bid bond is signed and included. And the DCAM certificate for HVAC is signed and included. Okay, that concludes our bid opening for the sub bid HVAC. All bids are under review, and we will move to our next sub bid, which is painting. This is the FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovation sub bid painting. We will go ahead and unseal all the documents. Okay, we'll go over to submissions. And we have 4 submissions. We have JMS Painting Corp. Received November 7th, 2024 at 10:43 a.m. We have John W. Egan Company Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 10 a.m. We have Celtic Painting LLC, received November 7th, 2024 at 8:44 a.m. And we have MG Painting Contractors LLC, received November 6th, 2024 at 1:24 p.m. Okay, starting with JMS Painting Corp., we'll go to the form of subbid. Okay, we have a bid of $35,400, $35,400. Addendums 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. Scrolling down, everything is signed. Moving to the next for the combined certificate. Okay, signed and included. Moving to the bid bond. The bid bond is included. Moving to the DCAM certificate. Okay, DCAM certificate for painting that is signed and included. Okay, next we have John W. Egan Company Incorporated. We'll open up the form of subbid. Okay, we have John W. Egan Company Incorporated, $53,280, $53,280. Acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3 may be used by any general bidder except CTA and Vanguard. Everything is signed. We'll go to the compliance certificate. That is signed and included. Go to the bid bond. And that is signed and included. And the DCAM certificate. And we have the DCAM certificate for painting signed and included. Next, we'll go to Celtic Painting LLC, form of subbid. Okay, we have Celtic Painting LLC, $74,200, $74,200. Acknowledging addendums 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. You go to the certificate of compliance. Okay, everything is signed and included. Moving to the bid bond. And we have the bid bond signed and included. Moving to the decam certificate. We have a decam certificate for painting signed and included. And now we have MG Painting Contractors LLC under the form of subbid. We have MG Painting Contractors LLC, $56,900, $56,900, acknowledging addenda 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. We go to the certificate of compliance. That is signed and included. Now to the bid bond. That is signed and included. And now to the decam certificate. Okay, decam certificate for painting, that is signed and included. And that concludes our bid opening for FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovation sub-bid painting. All bids are under review, and now we'll go to our next sub-bid, which is plumbing. Okay, unsealing all the documents. Okay, now going over to the submissions. Okay, we have 3 submissions. We have ARAUJO Brothers Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 8:44 a.m. Then we have Harborview Plumbing LLC, received November 7th, 2024 at 7:55 a.m. And Robert W. Irvine and Sons Incorporated, received November 5th, 2024 at 4:34 p.m. So opening up our first form of subbid. We have ARAUJO Brothers Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, $101,100, $101,100, acknowledging addenda 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. Into the certificate of compliance. Signed and included. Into the bid bond. That is signed and concluded. Going to the decam certification. And we have filed subbid HVAC and plumbing, and that is signed and included. Next, we have Harborview Plumbing LLC. We have Harborview Plumbing LLC for $85,000. That's $85,000. Acknowledging addenda 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. Certificate of compliance signed and included. And we have the bid bond signed and included. And the DCAM certificate for plumbing signed and included. Next, we have Robert W. Irvine and Sons Incorporated. Go to the form for subbid. And we have Robert W. Irvine and Sons Incorporated, $86,660. $86,660. Addenda 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. Everything is signed. Okay, we have the certificate of compliance signed and included. And we have the bid bond signed and included. And the DCAM certification. HVAC and plumbing signed and included. Okay. That concludes our bid opening of FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovations, sub-bid plumbing. All bids are under review, and we will now be moving to our next sub-bid, which is resilient flooring. Okay, we'll go to requested information and we'll unseal all of the documents. Okay, we're gonna go over to our submissions. And we have 4 submissions. We have Capital Carpet and Flooring Specialists Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 11:15 a.m. We have CJM Services Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 11:16 a.m. We have Mass Floors Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 9:32 a.m. And Pavilion Floors Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 8:42 a.m. Starting with Capital Carpet and Flooring Specialists. We have Capital Carpet and Flooring Specialists Incorporated, $379.00. So $106,379.00. We have addendums 1, 2, and 3 acknowledged. And this sub-bid may be used by any general bidder except GVW, CJM Services, Nauset Construction, Nelco Worldwide, and Verica Construction. Scrolling down, everything is signed. The combined certificate is signed and included. The bid bond is signed and included. The DCAM certificate for resilient floors and tiles, signed and included. Next, we have CJM Services Incorporated, opening up the form for sub bid. CJM Services Incorporated, $47,750, $47,750. May only be used by the following general bidders: CJM Services Incorporated, everything is signed. Certificate of compliance, signed and included. Bid bond, signed and included. DCAM certification for resilient floors, signed and included. Okay, next we have Mass Floors, Inc. Opening up the sub bid. We have $81,540.41, $81,540.41. Acknowledging addenda 1, 2, and 3. Everything is signed. Moving on to the certificate of compliance. Okay, signed and included. Bid bond, signed and included. DCAM certificate for resilient floors, signed and included. Next, we have Pavilion Floors Incorporated. Form for sub bid, we have Pavilion Floors Incorporated, $93,913, $93,913. Acknowledging addendum 1, 2, and 3. This sub bid may be used by any general bidder except GVW Incorporated, CJM Services, Enfield Builders, Verica Construction, and BC Construction. Okay, everything is signed. Go to the combined certificate. Signed and included. Bid bond. Signed and included. And the DCAM certificate for resilient floors and tile, that is signed and included. Okay, that concludes our sub bid opening for the sub bid resilient flooring. All bids are under review. And now we will go to our last sub bid, which is tile. And we will unseal all the documents. Okay, now over to submissions. And we have two submissions. The first one is Capital Carpet and Flooring Specialists, received November 7th, 2024 at 11:18 a.m. And Pavilion Floors Incorporated, received November 7th, 2024 at 10:59 a.m. Opening up the first one. Capital Carpet and Flooring Specialists Incorporated, with a bid of $25,378, $25,378. Acknowledging addenda 1, 2, and 3. This sub bid may be used by any general bidder except CVW, CJM Services, Nauset Construction, Nelco Worldwide, and Barica Construction. And everything is signed. Next, we have the combined certificate. And that's signed and included. And next we have the bid bond. Signed and included. DCAM certification, resilient floors and tile, signed and included. Next, we have Pavilion Floors Incorporated, form for sub bid. Okay, Pavilion Floors Incorporated, $24,990, $24,990. Addenda 1, 2, and 3 are acknowledged. May be used by any general bidder except CVW Incorporated, CJM Services, Enfield Builders, Barica Construction, BC Construction. Rolling down. Everything is signed. Going to combine certificate. And that is signed and included. And into the bid bond. And the bid bond is signed and included. Into the DCAM certificate. The DCAM certificate for resilient floors and tile, and that is signed and included. Okay, and that concludes our bid opening for our 9 sub-bid categories for the FY25 Hyannis Golf Course Clubhouse renovations. All bids are under review, and we are available by email or phone if you have any questions. This concludes our bid opening, and thank you for joining us.